Most people don't believe me when I tell them that the best part of my first year college experience has been the time I spent in the backcountry with 15 strangers. Honestly, I wouldn't believe me either, but it's the truth. And here's how it happened. The summer before my first year, I decided to sign up for an Adventure West Virginia first year trip. Before leaving for the trip, I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. 5 days in the woods with no cell phone? I really hadn't thought this through. But despite my worries, I gained so much through my backpacking experience in West Virginia. And today, I'm going to share my three biggest takeaways from my adventure trip. When you are stuck in the woods with no internet, one of the only things there is to do is talk to each other. So one of the highlights of my trips were the conversations that I shared with other students. On the first day of the trip, I was terrified to talk to all of the other students. I was not prepared for a week of icebreakers and get to know you games. But even though it was difficult to break the ice, the conversations that I had on this trip were some of the deepest I've ever experienced. And suddenly, people that I had only met a few days before became my best friends. So now, whether I'm in the backcountry or on campus, I'm not afraid to start a conversation. The moments we didn't spend talking, we spent with much needed reflection. Our activities were always followed up by a moment to reflect on them. After the activity, we stopped to think, was this activity easy or difficult? Why? What was it like to solve this puzzle? How did we get there? Asking these questions allowed us to not only do the activities, but understand why we were doing them. My favorite reflective moment was the 1 hour solo that we participated in. This was where we all spread out to a remote location in the woods and simply just sat and thought for a while. I loved this so much because I thought it was going to be so boring, but it actually wasn't. I was able to think creatively and freely, and this was something I did not expect. Now, I've learned to take a step back and just reflect. College is full of so much noise, and if we can take a step back and reflect on the noise that surrounds us, we can really gain a better understanding of our surroundings. While our trip had many insightful and reflective moments, there were also some challenges. There is no experience required to go on an adventure trip, even though some trips spend 5 days in the backcountry. The program is designed so that you learn all of the necessary skills along the way. Adventure utilizes a challenge by choice mindset. The idea is that you have the opportunity to challenge yourself throughout the trip. For those who had very little backpacking experience, like me, this trip was extremely challenging. We were exposed to a completely new environment, new people, and had to utilize skills that we had never used before. In a lot of ways, this trip prepares you for what college is going to be like at WVU. A new environment, new people, new skills, and even walking up hills with a heavy backpack. Ultimately, we have the choice to challenge ourselves in college and become the best version of us that we can be. So, while the start of my college experience was pretty unconventional, I can't think of a better way I could have prepared for the road ahead, or a better way to be introduced to my new home as a mountaineer. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Have a great day.